And welcome back, this is Scuba with more bonus episodes of Let's Play Chrono Cross. I'm joined as always by Sprigg, who will be the focus for a little while here. We are going to focus on Sprigg's Doppelgangs. Doppelgangs allow Sprigg to turn into a previously met foe. There's a large list of foes to go through. I will be showing off all of them. I am going to show off the transformation, and then the full element grid, and then any text that that character might have. I do believe that my list is complete, so we should be able to see all of them. We are going to start with a beach bum, one of the first enemies we ever came across. The beach bum does have quite a few blue elements. In fact, it is all blue except for this doppelgang that will revert us either back to Sprigg or into another foe or another doppelgang that we have encountered. There's a couple cures here, a turn blue, more cures, aqua ball, and the beach bum does indeed have a tech. It is make waves. We also have another aqua ball and more aqua ball and lots of make waves. So let's go ahead and use it. It does hit everybody, but we only have the one opponent in the airframe today. And that is the beach bum. Next, we are going to be sticking with some of the easiest enemies that we have encountered in the game, and some of the ones that we got initially when we got Sprigg. Next up, we have the sand squirt. The Sand Squirts element grid is once again all blue except for the Doppelgang. We also have a tech in Squirt Gun. Notice that we don't get too many descriptions here, it just says damage. Plus an Aqua Beam, a Cure, and a Cure Plus. And an Aqua Beam plus 3 at the end, but we are going to show off Squirt Gun. Once again, not expecting high damage here. Unfortunately for a lot of these early doppelgangs, they do not level up with Sprigg. We're going to stick with Lizard Rock for the time being. It's time to turn into a Komodo pup. Once again, we find ourselves a completely blue element grid except for the Doppelgang. We do have a cure and a turn blue. Not sure how that really helps, but we do have a cure all at the end of the Komodo Pup's element grid, which I guess is a little bit more useful. The Komodo Pup also uses Squirt Gun, so we will show that off. Moving a little bit forward in plot, although still at Lizard Rock, we can get the Opa Fish. The Opa Fish is our first innate red, so it is a completely red element grid this time. It's also quite a large one. It goes all the way up to level 7. So we have the Doppelgang, as usual, on level 1, but then it's mostly fireballs and weekends for at least a little while. Then we finally get a fire pillar, followed by a magma burst, more magma burst, and more magma burst, and at the ultimate level, red field plus 2, which is a little strange to try to build up that much for a red field, but you might notice that the Opa Fish does not have any text, so that's going to do it for another weak enemy. Moving over to the Hydra Marshes, in a fight with a Wraith in particular, you can find the Tsetse Fly. The The Tsetse Fly is innate black, so we have a completely black element grid this time, with a lot of the spells and elements that we have seen with black this whole time that I've not been that big of a fan of. We have Hell Souls, we have Hell Bounds, and we have Imbeciles and Geniuses. None of these are necessarily my favorite. They're instant death or buffs or debuffs, none of which are typically my favorite in any game, and this one is not really an exception, with other spells being an exception, but these are not them. So that is the Tsetse Fly. Next up is a common enemy that we have found throughout our travels, the Wraith. The Wraith is also innate black, but at least we get some text this time. We get Dark Mist, which inflicts darkness, which can be quite good in certain cases. Then we do find some more of the instant death spells in the Hell Souls. We also get an anti-white in case we need that. More Hell Souls and anti-whites. And finally, a Hellbound at the end. But the one that I care about right now is Dark Mist. Does hit all enemies. I only have the one now. Moving a little bit north, we can find an enemy that I have killed probably more of than I needed to. It's time to show off the Mama Dingo. The Mama Dingo is innate red, so we have a full red element grid this time, filled with strengthens, which we have seen it use quite a bit, and then the tech bite. And the rest of the grid is indeed going to be bite. Let's use it on the airframe. Since we showed off the Mama, it's time to show off the Bubba. Let's see the Bubba Dingo. Bubba Dingo, just like its mama, is innate red, and we do have quite a bit of text here. They're all the same though, it is all Sick'em, but we have many opportunities to use it. We also have a Weaken, just in case you want to use that as well, but it's time to Sick'em on the airframe. We're sticking in Fossil Valley for the moment. Let's show off the Drongo. The Drongo is our first innate green, so it is completely green this time. It comes with a heal and a turn green, as well as its tech pea shooter, which we will be showing off, but it also comes with a heal all, which is quite rare among Doppelgangs, so I'm happy to see that. We also get a bad eye, I'm less happy to see that, and more pea shooters. So many pea shooters. Hit the airframe with one. Next up we have the Dodo, which we have seen many places, but is probably mostly known for Fossil Valley, which we are still in plot-wise, I guess, when it comes to the Doppelgang list. Let's show off the Dodo. The Dodo is our first innate white, so we get to see our first white element grid here. Comes with Peck, we have seen that before, it is the Dodo's tech. We also get to see a Purify up here. That's very rare, so if you're looking to Purify with Sprigg for some reason, there's your opportunity. We also get a Recover All, always nice to see a Recover All spell. Any kind of Cure All spell is always nice. Lots of Pecks, and if you get up to level 6, you can find a Revive +5. So the Dodo does like to heal its party members and purify them and bring them back to life. But For the time being, we will peck away at the airframe. Moving on to the forest, where we can find a bulb. The bulb is innate green, so we get a lot of really good green elements here. No text, but really good green elements nonetheless. We get a couple of heals, we get a bushwhacker, which isn't that great, but we get another bushwhacker and another heal on level 2. Level 3, more bushwhacker and a bad eye in case you like that. But we also get a heal all. Always nice to see that. Info scope I never truly use, but it is there in case you want to see your opponent's HP data. But then we finally get the Bush Basher +2 at level 5. There's the first really good one. And the second really good one at max level here is the Carnivore +1. So if you are looking for kind of an early game Carnivore usage, the bulb has got you covered. There are better Doppelgangs out there, though. One of them, arguably, is the Cassowary, which is still in Shadow Forest. Let's show it off. The Cassowary is innate yellow, so we get an uplift. Also some low res. Can be useful in certain situations. More uplift and low res, and then eventually we do get a high res. Just the one, I believe. Then we start getting the text, the old 1, 2, 3. We get 3 usages of those, and then we get anti-green +3 at the maximum level. Not entirely sure about that, but we do get to show off the old 1, 2, 3 on the airframe. Sticking with Shadow Forest, next up we have the Couscous. Couscous brings us back to a full green element grid here. We have a few opportunities to heal at level 1. We get Turn Green and a Bushwhacker at level 2. Level 3 is another Bushwhacker and a Bat Eye, although that's not my favorite. At level 4, though, you do get Eagle Eye. Very useful, but I'm not sure this is how I would want to use it. The Couscous is a little disappointing for me considering what you can do with it in the game, but that's with it as an enemy, not as a doppelgang. And now we've moved inside the giant tree in Shadow Forest where we can find a Garriday. Garriday is innate blue and has kind of a weird element grid here. We start off pretty basic. We have lots of cures on level 1. We have cure pluses -1 on level 2 with a squirt gun that we will show off, even though we've seen a couple enemies do a squirt gun to this point. More cure pluses at level 3 with another squirt gun, more and more squirt guns, but that is only up to level 6. There's kind of a hidden element at level 8 for the Garriday, and it is a Deluge +3. So, if you really need a Deluge, the Garriday is there for you, but there are better casters for it. Remember, all the stats kind of carry forward with the Doppelgang. So, we're just going to show off the squirt gun instead. Hit the airframe with it.